Sometimes the most powerful innovations don't come from some massive, high-tech research lab. Nope. They come from a simple observation, a moment of real empathy, and a single powerful question. So let's dive into the story of an idea that did exactly that.
Okay, so I want you to picture this. The biting cold of a Glasgow night. We're talking about temperatures that can drop to really dangerous levels. For most people, that's a signal to get inside, right? But for those on the streets, it's a nightly battle for survival. Just a desperate search for any little bit of warmth. And it's this exact scene that our protagonist, a girl named Rebecca Yeung, is watching from the warmth of her family's car. But here's the thing. Unlike so many of us, she couldn't just look away. Now, what's absolutely amazing here is Rebecca's age. She wasn't some seasoned engineer or a social worker. She was just 12 years old. And that fresh perspective, that lack of preconceived limits about what's possible and what's not, well, that made all the difference. This right here was the question that sparked everything. It wasn't about complicated policies or economics. It was just a simple, profoundly human question that came from seeing a problem and refusing to believe it was just unfixable. So the chance to actually answer that question came from a pretty unexpected place, a school engineering project. The assignment was simple: solve a real social problem. And for Rebecca, well, the problem had already found her. Her idea was just brilliantly straightforward. What if you could capture the one resource that's free for everyone, sunlight, and basically package it? Store its energy during the day, release it as heat at night, and contain the whole thing in something as simple and portable as a backpack. And this wasn't just some vague idea either. She actually thought through the components. She looked into flexible solar panels to collect the energy, a battery pack to store it, and these thin heating wires that could be woven right into a blanket, all light enough to be carried around easily. So, with her design all sketched out, Rebecca entered this massive competition in the UK called Primary Engineer. And this was it. This was the moment her idea would either stay a school project or become something so much more. Just look at this. This really puts into perspective the odds she was up against. Her one idea was just one little entry among more than 70,000 others. And yet, it grabbed the judge's attention and she won. I mean, that's the big question, isn't it? In a sea of over 70,000 ideas, what made this one so special? Well, the answer is this beautiful combination of a few key things. First off, its power was in its elegance and simplicity. There weren't any complicated mechanics or confusing goals. It just addressed a direct, fundamental human need, warmth, with a solution that anyone could understand and appreciate right away. But it was more than just simple, it was also deeply human. See, this wasn't an invention looking for a problem to solve. It started with a person, with real empathy, and it was designed from the very beginning with human dignity in mind. And really, that's the true magic here. It was this rare fusion of two incredibly powerful forces, that heartfelt compassion meeting practical, clever engineering. And that's a combination that doesn't just create gadgets. It's the combination that genuinely makes things better. So her win didn't just get her a trophy. It actually got the attention of industry professionals. A major engineering firm saw the genius in her idea and said, "We're in." They committed to working with her to turn her sketches into a real, functional prototype. And the potential impact was immediately obvious to people on the front lines. As one charity worker put it, when shelters are full, having your own source of warmth isn't some luxury, it's a lifeline. It can literally be the one thing that stops a cold night from becoming a fatal one. And that's the crucial point. For the people getting these backpacks, it was never just about the technology. It was a tangible message. It was proof that said, you are seen. Someone out there cares about you. It was compassion made real. What an absolutely incredible journey. I mean, think about it. From a simple observation in a car, to a school project, a huge national award, a working prototype, and finally getting global recognition from Time magazine as one of its Girls of the Year. Just amazing. But, if we stop at the technology, the solar panels and the heating wires, we actually miss the most important part of this story. Because those things, they aren't the real invention here. Now, what's really fascinating here is the contrast. So much innovation starts in a lab, right? With some piece of tech that's looking for a problem to solve. Rebecca's story shows us a completely different path. Innovation that starts by seeing a human need and is driven purely by empathy. This right here, This is the core takeaway. The mindset that drove her wasn't about ending homelessness. I mean, that's a problem so massive it can feel completely paralyzing. No, it was about solving one part of it. It was about making one night safer. And this is such a powerful reminder for all of us, isn't it? We often feel helpless when we're facing these huge global problems, but focused, meaningful action, even on a really small scale, can have a life-changing and sometimes a life-saving impact. And what her story gives us is this repeatable model for making a difference, something we can call the Rebecca method. It's not a complicated formula, you don't need a PhD. It's a deeply human process that anyone can follow. Truly see the problem, allow yourself to actually feel the need, and then have the courage to ask that simple, powerful question. And that is the question this entire story leaves us with. It turns the camera away from Rebecca and points it right back at us. In our own communities, in our own lives. What's a problem that we see? And what's the simple human question that we can start asking today? What can I do?